Hello, Vanessa Vanderhoek here, the Healthy Gut Nutritionist. What I thought I'd cover today is something that I talk a lot about in my clinic. And often people say, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then the other group of people have done a lot of research and they've read about it and they have got some understanding of it. And that's what I call leaky gut, also known as intestinal permeability. So if you're just sitting there going, what on earth is leaky gut? Let me take you through it. And look, if you're looking at journal articles, if you're looking at the science, the medical term is intestinal permeability. And basically, what it means is our lining of our gut is one cell thick. So it's really, really thin. And there's different mucosal layers. So in our small intestine, we've got one mucosal layer. And in our large colon or our bowel, we've got two mucosal layers. And when we have leaky gut or intestinal permeability, what it means that is the tight junctions in that cell wall become permeable. So it's like fishnet stockings, although it's at a very minuscule microscopic level. And what happens is we've got more zonulin. So the more zonulin we have in the gut wall, the more of leaky gut we have. And it's not a good thing. So, it's not a good thing because it can cause inflammation. It's seen as the root cause, and science is really delving into this at the moment around the links with autoimmune disease, the links with rheumatoid arthritis, juvenile arthritis, celiac disease, Crohn's disease, fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. I've got a list here. Let me have a look at my list because I always forget. Hashimoto's. So they're all autoimmune related type ones. Also PMS and PCOS, hormonal fluctuations. It's well known that leaky gut can cause brain fog and difficulty concentrating, low energy, seasonal allergies, hay fever, skin issues. That's a really big one. Eczema, rosacea is a classic sign of leaky gut. Also, acne. And I haven't even touched on yet the digestive aspect, food sensitivities, bloating, gas, diarrhea, IBS, SIBO, Candida. I did mention Crohn's before and celiac disease. Have I missed anything? I think that's a lot of things. So if you're listening to this, many of us will go, wow, I've got quite a few of those things going on. And I suppose it's not all bad. We can heal the gut, and the gut lining does heal quite quickly. So it's about 5 days. But what we've got to try and work through is what are the causes for the zonulin to increase? Why has your body created this environment? And that is the most important thing. So, depending on your symptoms, may depend on whether or not you're you're a good fit to do my program, which is a set way of eating and living, and I support you through it. Or if you're better off to get in and get some data and do a gut test, and then from there develop a bio-individual approach. What I'd like to share with you, and I had a friend the other day say to me, why would you do that? Why would you share your own gut test? And I want to because it's really important that you see that I am a human. And previous years, my gut test has been really, really good, like fantastic. And really interestingly, my metabolic test this year came back really fantastic. So there's no wonder I'm in really good health. Vanessa, that's me. So you can see this is my gut test. And I did it early this year, 2023. So I almost had a heart attack when I opened this up. So this might look all foreign to you, but what I'll do is I'll talk you through it. So This is the last page of the gut test. I'm not going to take you through all of my results because they're private. And that, look, to be honest, there's not really that much to be seen, but this is the page. So I'll give you a bit of background. So for a long time, over 20 years, I've been having a colonoscopy every 2 years. It started when I was 19. I've got serrated polyposis syndrome, so I'm at significant risk of bowel cancer because I seem to grow precancerous polyps. So what I do is live an incredibly clean and healthy life. And I love it. I feel really good. In the past, when I didn't do that, I had chronic fatigue, I had joint pain, I had acne, I had bloating, I had it all. Now I don't. I feel really good. And every time they go in, my polyps are less and less. So I used to have like 40, 30, 20, and now I'm down to, I think, 7 or something. So they're getting less. So that's my goal for next time, hopefully less, less, less until there's none. I've got a history of celiac disease. So there are people in my line of my family who have celiac disease. I tested the genes and I've got them all. So that's not good. So basically, again, it puts me at risk of celiac disease. So I know since I was probably about 15 or 16, I used to throw my sandwiches in the bin. So I'd have white bread sandwiches and I would feel sick. So I just used to throw them in the bin and I lived my life eating fruits and veggies. And back then I was eating a lot of yogurt and things like that. And I knew instinctively gluten did not work for me. So gluten's been out of my world for a long time. I've tried to test the biopsy for celiac disease quite a few times, and I just can't eat enough of it. I feel sick. So I just can't get to that 4, 6, 8 week process where you've got to eat heaps of it for them to be able to assess. So, my decision is I just rule it out. So just before I did this test, and I run this test on me every year to just check in because the gut is the foundation of health. And I do it as a preventative health thing for me. I got this little rash, and it's like a tiny little pimple rash that's incredibly itchy. So it's not like eczema, it's not like psoriasis. It's literally, it looks like little pimples. So if you've got celiac disease, you probably know what I'm talking about. It's a type of dermatitis, and it's strongly linked with celiac. And here I am scratching, and I'm scratching, and I'm scratching, and then the next day I'm scratching, and then this rash is just popping up all over. Where it pops up for me is usually my hands. And I thought, oh no, I've had an exposure. And I was in two minds. I was in two minds as to whether or not to do this gut test or wait a little bit to do some work to heal myself and then do the test. And I thought, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to see what happens. So I did it. And boy, oh boy, have we got some information here. So I will share with you the GI map, the gut test I run, is not diagnostic for celiac disease. It is no way a diagnostic tool, but what it does is it gives me information. So for clients, when they're seeing me, and if I was a client, I would be saying to me, which I am saying to me, talk to your doctor, get in to see a gastroenterologist, and it's probably worth exploring as to whether or not you've got that condition. So let's go through it. So digestion, steatocrit. So I'm digesting my fats, all good. Elastase 1, I'm above 200, which is ideal. Ideally, it would be better to be above 750, but you can see I'm in the green, so I'm not too bad there. But some digestive support is what I'm doing for myself over the next little bit. My beta glucuronidase is high, and look, this is explaining some of my PMS symptoms at the moment, because basically what this does is helps us to deconjugate toxins. And one of the big toxins as a female is in our body is the clearance of hormones, especially estrogen. So what this does is this again gives me some real specificity on foods and supplements and things that I've got to focus on the next little while. No blood, fantastic. This is where it gets interesting. Look at this. My secretory IgA, this should be around 1,000. It's always been perfect, and over 6,000 is extreme. Just checking my headphone thing is on, is extreme. So what this means is this is an indication of my mucosal lining. Remember I said there's one lining, mucosal barrier in the small intestine, and there's two in the large colon. This means that it's overactive. It has gone in to protect me and it is on fire. That's an extraordinary number. When I saw that, I actually shed a tear. I was like, oh my gosh. Quite interestingly, though, I will say, and if you do have celiac disease, I really have little symptoms. So it was just that little rash, no bloating, no real digestive complaints, probably a little bit more tired than usual, but all in all, in good health. But that has to be fixed. I got to do some work. I'm on a 3-month protocol. I'm on my own program and I'm revising my program actually as I'm doing it. So maybe the universe has done this for a reason, so I can make my program even better for you. Antigliadin IgA, again, terrible number. You definitely don't want this over 500. I want it under 50 if possible. And what this is saying is there is an immune upregulated response to gliadin, which is another protein in wheat. There's gluten and there's gliadin. So no good. That's got to go. That's got to come down. So for me, I've got to avoid other cross-reactive grains as well. So yeah, it's it was a bit frightening, to be honest, to open this up. If anyone's going to be able to fix it, I'm going to be able to fix it. So I hope to share with you. I don't know if I'll retest in 3 or 4 months. I think I should, out of interest. But if not, I'll definitely be retesting in January. So I'll keep you posted on that. This is another EPX is another indication of inflammation. So that's really good. That's really low. Calprotectin, that's where there's white blood cell infiltration into the lining of the gut. Look, if it gets above 70, definitely if it gets over 250, we're looking at IBD and all sorts of other things. So 31's okay. But definitely I don't want it creeping up too much. And then zonulin. Remember we were talking about the leaky gut. So quite interestingly, 180, it's bad. Like it's not good. It's got to be under 50, 70. But last year mine was 20. So I had no leaky gut. I had really good quality gut. But as you can see here, for me, that exposure to gluten has really set me off like a firecracker. So that's got to come down. And interestingly, it's not that bad. Like I've seen numbers much bigger than this. And I do think because I was in good health to start with, that saved me. But I'll be perfectly honest, that's a terrible mark. So whilst I'm saying it's not that bad, it's still there. So it's got to be fixed. So that's it. I hope it's really helpful. Let me know if you've got any questions. I'd love to know your thoughts. Has it been good, me being vulnerable and sharing with you my own test? Like I said, I had a friend who said, don't do that. Why would you do that? People, will think that you're not healthy, blah, 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 whatever. And my view is, I want to be honest with you. I need to be honest with you. And if you can see that it doesn't matter how healthy you are, things still happen. We're still exposed to toxins. We still have stress. We've still got things going on in our world that can impact our gut health. And it's not about us feeling bad about ourselves that we've done things wrong. It's just, it is what it is. And we've got to invest the time, and we've got to invest the space and the resources to get it going and to get it better. So that's my plan over the next couple of months. And yeah, yeah, I was going through the grief cycle a little while ago, but yeah, I'm there. I'm um I'm happy now. I suppose where I'm at is the crossroads of, do I go down that path of forcing myself to eat gluten to get the diagnosis? When I know I'm going to be in bed, like I won't be able to work. It just knocks me right out. Brain fog, etc., etc. And then it's a 3-month recovery. I'd love your thoughts if you've been down that path, what your experience has been. I, yeah, I don't know if I can do it because it's really going to be 4 months out of a year for me to do the test and then recover from the test, because it knocks me around so bad. So at the moment where I'm at is no, my life's not going to change anyway. Um, so yeah, that's where I'm at. I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, take care. Bye.